Welcome back to Beards and Brews. Hey, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe or follow no matter where you're listening. Not only does it help us out, but you'll know exactly when we have another one brewing. Fellas, it's about that time of year when we talk about some homicidal parents, you know? What'd you guys think of Serial Mom?
Well, let's open it up with fuck Dottie Hinkles, because, that's what you get for taking her parking space. And
Absolutely.
dude, the closing bit of this movie, she had it coming. Yeah.
There was the ending bit. It took a little while to get there, but you know what? It was pretty good. A little cute right at the end.
Yeah, so this was my pick, and I'd never actually seen it before. I really just wanted to throw something John Waters on here because I had a chance to go to the John Waters exhibition at the Academy Museum yesterday. Saw a lot of cool shit, including stuff from this very film.
Very cool stuff from this movie. Specifically, a note from someone in this movie, and it fucking had me rolling. That it just still exists. It's there. You can just see that. You can see someone call someone a pussy face. Spoilers.
The only other time you get to hear someone be referred to as pussyface is in Predator 2 with Danny Glover.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that is one bond of continuity between the Predator universe and the John Waters universe.
Ooh.
Well, we discussed earlier that Matthew Lillard is in this movie, and he's basically setting himself up to be in Scream. So we have the perfect trilogy. Predator 2 flows right into Serial Mom. Stay with me. And then, boom, right in the Scream.
Sign me up.
I can see it. And your sense of logic is making me a little woozy here.
Well, he still has the chops, right? Like, I know that that's a grown-ass man, but there's something perfect about Matthew Lillard playing a high school dude. There's everything about him just screams 90s high school fella.
Ricki Lake, too? Ricki Lake is in this movie as a teenage girl.
They fucking bash her about her weight through this entire movie, and she's not even that big.
She gets like the Meg treatment from Family Guy. It's like, Meg is just whatever, but like, man, you fucking lose some weight, you fat bitch.
Damn. Make her cry, baby. Shit.
Oh, there's Tracy Lords is in here. Even more crybaby goodness.
A lot of John Waters, alumni in this movie. And it does have that flavor of just like 100% sarcasm.
Yeah, you get a little bit of just full-on tongue all the way deep into that cheek.
Almost as deep as that makeout scene between Ricki Lake and the cop at the end. It was just fucking eating each other's faces.
I was curious. Okay, so in the movie, like, one of the things with Ricki Lake's character is that she just kind of like falls in love with cute boys just like immediately. And the whole time I'm thinking, she's going to wind up like fucking one of these fellas. And I was trying to like have like a little Deadpool, like, who's it going to be?
Well, you say falling in love with boys. Ricki Lake in this movie is a teenage girl. And like she starts hitting on one of the cops who is like, he's damn near 40. The photographer later toward the end, he's old. Like, what are... Come on, guys. Give us something here. You can't do that.
Well, the police force kind of let a murderous mother just kind of roam around and go to church one day. I don't think they give a fuck who's fucking who at this point.
I was going to say, we need to figure out where they live and move there. All we have to go on is the zip code. 212, fuck you.
So I want to be the first person to talk about how brilliant Kathleen Turner is in this movie. I didn't know a whole lot about Kathleen Turner coming to this. Didn't really know what to expect. This performance is incredible.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner, for me, I've known her since Romancing the Stone, and boy oh boy, I fucking love that movie.
Dare I say it, but I feel like her performance is better than the movie. Movie is not bad whatsoever, but there's something about her just absolutely knocking it out of the park as this psychotic, homicidal, could snap any minute mom. It's so fun just to watch her just see a situation and then just like the gears start to turn and it just turns into this full-blown murder with a chicken leg or something.
It was a leg of lamb. I thought it was a ham hock or something, but that is a leg of lamb.
Gentlemen, that was a roast beat down.
Ooh, dang, dude. Usually they just push you down and fart in your face, but that's a whole different level of hell.
Yeah, that was a bludgeoning with a roasted lamb leg.
The entire time watching that scene, I realized, like, oh, this is kind of in the morning the next day. We'll get to it. But that means the lady that got bludgeoned woke up at fuck all in the morning to prepare this for herself, just to be murdered by it.
Well, she's got to, get things right, prepare a nice meal. I don't even remember what movie it was. I was going to say it. I don't remember what movie it was. It was some, 70s movie musical, right? Annie? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It might as well have been like Sound of Music or some shit, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like John Waters is heavily critiquing just conservatives.
Just like that perfect middle America where everything... Okay, the vibes that I get from Kathleen Turner when she slips into her mode in this movie is like Kevin Spacey in American Beauty, where it's so good that it's kind of creepy, Like she turns it on and it's like, oh, you're good at this. Maybe a little too good.
I'll give you that. It's a little creepy at first. You're like, oh, fuck, she's possibly capable of anything. But then as the movie goes on, you're like, yeah. Sometimes when I'm driving, I kind of just want to get a couple 100 points on the sidewalk. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. That's, we're not there, but that was my final thought. This movie is just 100% that daydream violence that we all find ourselves drifting into sooner or later. We're never really going to act on it. But Kathleen Turner in this film is definitely going to do it for us. We get to live vicariously of this woman who's living a normal life, happy, got her family, loves them very much. But by God, if you take her parking spot, you talk bad about her kids, or you don't think that she has the perfect fucking meatloaf, and God forbid, how dare you not recycle, she's going to fuck you up.
That's about right.
Did you say that bitch doesn't recycle?
Back.
Theater. I like that you brought that up because this movie is Intrusive Thoughts, the movie.
Yeah.
Even early on, the movie wastes no time setting up premise because, you've got the Plutonic family, they're having breakfast, and the mom, she's being a mom, that all of a sudden she sees a fly. And she's just buzzing around all the food, getting on everybody's nerves. And to double down on that, I absolutely love the symbolism. There's that old idiom, it's like, oh, they wouldn't hurt a fly. And she fucking snipes it.
Bitch, test me. The movie hyper focuses on her hyper focusing on this one fucking fly that she can't just not pay attention to. She's got to murder this thing.
There's so much fun little nods, her and how long she's been losing it, like with the secret letters that she's been sending to her neighbor, fucking Dottie Hinkles. And man, just this build is so good. And I know that we're jumping ahead, but the whole fact that we get from the second the movie opens to the second the movie closes, she has fucking got it out for Dottie. It's brilliant.
To be fair, fuck Dottie.
Oh, I feel like we all agree, but I hope we all agree that, in my heart, I feel like this opening act, this whole first act is perfect. I feel like it is brilliant in all of its setup. Everything gets paid off. You know these characters immediately. We don't have to know too much backstory. It has that wonderful feeling of just, catching up to these guys or this family, and then all of a sudden something's a little off. And right there, you're already sent on a really good time.
Yeah, we get detectives coming in. It's like, we want to know if you know anything about anyone who would send this note to your neighbor. I want to warn you, there's some language in it.
Pussy willows.
The pussy willows. Yeah, and it's just like a ransom note cut out from a magazine with, "I'll get you, pussy face."
I mean, I guess you could take it either way or something. I don't know.
Like you said earlier, Kathleen Turner is bringing such power to this role. And what makes it so great is she's psychotic, she's murderous, but she's also having a blast. Like, the character and Kathleen are both having a blast. We get this whole scene of the prank call, and I swear to God, Kathleen Turner is sitting there, and she looks genuinely excited and having a ball play this character where she gets to be like, fuck you, cunt, you whore, you bitch. And then, meanwhile, juxtapose that against her sitting at the table and her son saying something about shit, and her going, do you know how I feel about the brown word?
that had me rolling. And I think that's just due to John Waters just being so relaxed. Like, I don't want to even call him odd, but most people would call him odd. But I feel like when you work with someone like that, he makes you really comfortable with stuff that wouldn't necessarily be comfortable. So I could totally imagine a situation where Kathleen was like, I get to say what? And he's like, yeah, just say it. It doesn't matter. Call her a cocksucker. I'll do it first, you know?
Yeah, the deep voice that she goes into while she's doing the prank calls. Is this the cocksucker residence? I can't do it. I can't do it. But it's beautiful. It's almost like The Exorcist, Linda Blair, all the shit that she's just spewing out. But this time it's delivered with a smile from, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it, kind of a milfy lady.
She's selling it, especially, like, again, jumping ahead, in the courtroom scene when she's just waving her legs wide open and then shut for that pervy guy.
Or whoever's legs those were.
Whoever's legs those were, yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, that was an odd choice of visual effects, but you know what? I'll let it go.
We're talking about milfy or whatever. Chan Man, along the lines of you're being the horny one, what did you think about the over-the-top, traumatizing sex scene?
Kind of jealous. No. Yeah, after her previous murder that day, she's a little bit horny for that blood nut, it feels like.
Oh, absolutely. And the fact that, like, she is extremely adamant just to wear her husband out. You know, she starts with, like, the pleasantries, oh, honey, and then it's just, like, full on just, like, fuck.
Dude, the way that they pitch it to you is solid. Like, the growing of the sex scene. It's foreplay, which doesn't really exist. That's a myth. And they just start going at it, right? They just start going at it, right? And so it's almost like we were discussing Ace Ventura. It's almost like that, you know, you get this scene of them making love and then the repercussions of said love making, which is Matthew Lillard and Ricki Lake one at a time stepping out into the hallway with disgusted looks upon their faces. And then it's just, you know, basically that, we'll bumblewee.
I think Ricki Lake's into it, actually.
Maybe it's her thing. Then again, those are the kind of people that she would definitely have on her show.
Oh, 100%.
I forgot she had a talk show.
That's what I know her from.
Like, I didn't know that she was an actor until after the fact. I saw Crybaby or whatever.
Yeah, like, the only acting that I know of that she has done is, like, John Waters stuff. I think they're, like, tight or whatever. Ricki Lake, holla at your boy.
Meanwhile, at the Serial Mom Hall of Justice.
I forgot that we were talking about this sex scene at all. But yeah, it just sort of spirals out of control into... You guys seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? The scene where they're trying to make each other jealous, like from like a hotel room away? It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Now, we get a nice little treat, which I thought was super cool. And I guess very ahead of the time, or maybe we as men didn't catch on. They start to, like, do the investigation about the mom being a murderer and such, because, you know, she kills people. Spoilers. They start finding all these magazines and cassette tapes and fucking video documentary footage, books. She's just another lady obsessed with true crime stories.
Yeah, 100%. She's got all the Charles Manson scrapbooks, because that's normal, right?
Yeah, you know, got his, like, coloring books and everything. Make sure you get the swastika. Stay in those lines.
That's even worse, because then you have to use the black, which, you know, that's the first one to go.
Well, the thing is, she's super into that stuff, the true crime and all that stuff, but, like, also Matthew Lillard. Like, I guess, like, There's a little bit of, like, connective tissue in the family. Like, you know what? Mama's crazy, but Scream Man, not too far away.
Yeah.
You know, if you leave him alone for a few years, I think he might become a serial killer.
Oh, the parents just got to go on vacay.
That's 100%.
Sorry, multiple murderer. Sorry.
Homicider.
Rookie numbers up.
Speaking of, like, the whole Matthew Lillard Scream tie-in, this is what sets Mom over the edge, because she's got a kid who's, you know, inherited the killer instinct from his mother. He learns how to do the prank calls, just like, you know, what's your favorite scary movie, from his mother. They're both obsessed with horror films, because, you know, they sit down and watch one together. He's got them all over his walls. He's misleading in his lies to those close to him, just like his mother, just like in Scream. And there's, you know, the movie store that he works at, but he worked there before Jamie Kennedy. You know, he ends up idolizing this woman.
Damn. you're really onto something. Because now that I realize, like, hey, the reason why the original killer in Scream went around, well, killing, was because she was mad at some lady just for sleeping around or whatever. So maybe that's Matthew Lillard's little trigger. He's just like, oh, you being promiscuous?
Not in my cul-de-sac.
But he's got a couple of friends, too, that are also really kind of into this. Like, kind of think that his mom is the murderer and is totally down with that.
Yeah,
Jokingly down with it, but yeah.
No, the one girl,
like...
she was like helping her escape toward the end. Like, let's get out
That's
of here.
her love for Matthew Lillard.
Oh, well.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, like, the other two friends, they're kind of, I don't want to call them flakes, but they're totally not up to par with the Scream Man, because as soon as the girlfriend saw the murder scene, she was like, oh my god, it's so real. And just like 86 the whole situation. And then you got the jerk-off boy, and he's just like, man, my stomach hurts. I'm going to go jack it.
You can't call him the jerk-off boy. That is Andy fucking Barkley from Child's Play 3.
Oh, well, see, there you have it. Fuck that movie. I fucking hate it.
Come on, Andy. Don't jizz on the sheets.
Oh, man.
Jizzed all over the sheets. And, you know, for everyone to see, too. They've been on a stakeout watching her, following her, but no, all they find is this guy jerking off to obscenely large-breasted women.
Is that an actual crime? No, sir.
Not in this state.
Not even...
Well, I mean, there's like fucking everything legal wherever they're from. To be honest, the cops are so slow to react.
I enjoyed that, you know, it's obscenely large breasts, but she's also like crushing cans with them. It's not, you know, they're just out. She's using them.
Yeah.
It's like Trailer Trash Tammy or something.
Yes. You better call in to work today, son. I'm going to suck the soul out of you.
Shit.
Like, there's nothing sexual about her bosom. They're just there for their usefulness, right?
You know, especially if you're recycling cans, it's pretty much a leg up.
Home erotic improvement. That's all.
All right. So we've got another murder coming up. We're skipping around.
Yeah, there's a teacher, and he's like, yo, kid likes murder. You're doing something wrong. And she's like, fuck I is. Here's some fruitcake. Blah, fucking runs him over.
And to think, I thought the fruitcake was the punishment.
Dude, the way he's like, oh, fruitcake.
Y'all want to know a secret? I don't mind fruitcake.
It's fucking gross.
I don't know. It's just like that weird, stale, candied fruit that's in there. I'm just like, man, it tastes like the back of a dollar store.
Ooh.
Oh, it does taste like the back of a dollar store. That is spot on. But you cut a slice, soak it in a little bit of dark rum for a little bit. It's not dry anymore.
Well, yeah, like add alcohol to anything. It's just 10 out of 10. Just fuck it. Can't taste it if you're smashed.
Speaking of getting smashed, old boy is like, I'm walking through the parking lot, and Kathleen Turner has that, I'm just the homebody, she's so happy little smile, she guns it. And the only person that can see this happening is this, like, stoner lady out in this field. And the only thing that I wish would have happened was for this kill to be a bit more gory. I know that it's on the more low-budget side of a film. You know, John Waters is normally just, you get what you get. The guy rolls up the windshield, falls off. We get, like, them backing over him off-screen with the ba-dump. But, man, I could have just, like, I watched that shitty Pooh Blood and Honey movie. Not like, you know, poo as in poop, but Winnie the Pooh.
Sounded like you were talking about shitty poo.
Yeah,
just like
but
poo.
He runs this chick's face over with a car, and it's fucking amazing. And I wish that would have had a little bit of that.
I think I'm right there with you, but I think something that obscene would take away from a joke we're going to get to with the fire poker.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so her next kill, we're at the flea market, I guess, swap meet, whatever. Homegirl Ricki Lake's trying to sell some doodads and some Pee Wee Herman action figure, brand new, still in the box. So,
what she get, like $125 out of it or something silly?
Yeah, that's not bad. 1993 money. Ooh.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's pretty much $4 million.
Yeah.
She was set for life and still needed to kill a dude with a fire poker.
Listen, it's all about lust. You know, go where your heart takes you.
I'd trade up Ricki Lake for fucking Tracy Lords any day.
There you go.
Well, what the fuck you mean, well?
Well, while you guys stew on it, let's just put together this little situation. Kathleen Turner gets this fire poker, chases this man into the bathroom. That sounds like that's kind of it. But like in the next stall right over, through the glory hole. They're just a spectator to this whole thing.
Like, John Waters is the only filmmaker who would just have, like, a happenstance glory hole. That's not being used for anything. It's just there.
No, that's not the only thing getting swapped at this meet, am I right, fellas?
Hey-o!
Speaking of meat getting swapped, he's swapping out his liver for not a liver.
I feel like in some past life, Kathleen Turner, the murderer, was also a surgeon because she jams this fire poker in some dude's back and she pulls it out and there is a perfect human liver on the end of it. And I'm just like, that's the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen.
I assume the liver in reality is attached to something, but I don't know.
Well, it's not attached to that guy because there's that whole moment where she's like, ew, ew, get it off, ew.
Yes. Which was a throwback to the scene where she watched the voodoo priest or whatever cut this lady's heart out with Matthew Lillard. And they're like, that looks so fake. And this looked so fake. It's just a little hunk of meat on the end of the fire poker. But what fucking sells this to me is she shoves this thing in the guy's glory hole, murders him up, runs away with some schmegma on her foot. And then this guy comes in with the Wilhelm scream, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, that was a nice little touch where like a dude clearly screaming on camera and John Waters like, nah, slap the soundbite on him.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's not forget the fact that she remembers to flush. You gotta have a tidy facility.
I did enjoy the fact that Ricki Lake goes out, sees this murder. The cops are like, what's going on now? She goes back to tell her mom, Mom, my chode of a boyfriend is dead. And she's like, I sold the peewee, though.
Yeah. Mom, you don't even care? My boyfriend is dead. Well, isn't that what you wanted? He sucks. You said you wanted him to die, so he died.
She says that with a smile, by the way. Like,
Yep.
This movie definitely rides that line between, like, funny and sociopathic. This is one of the moments where you're just like, oh, she means it.
Are you saying that sociopathic can't otherwise be funny? Because I think this is.
No, there's plenty of goofs in here. We just talked about the chicken liver and all that stuff. But, man, you're just like, oh, she believes this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's doing right in her own eyes.
Well, shortly after that, the movie takes over to the next day. And the cops are just like, wait a minute, we have evidence, ? Let's go follow that murderer.
Dude,
We get it.
the fact that she gets away long enough to go scissor with the next door neighbor is fucking nuts.
Can we talk about that? Like, it's such a Blues Brothers goof moment where you have like 50 cops behind this woman. And are they waiting for her to try to run? And that would be excuse to arrest her? Because, like, she's just going about her day with the whole family. They go to church. They have a hoot, I guess. And the cops are just like, I don't know what they're doing, to be honest.
It turns into like a Ray Stevens music video for like 3 minutes.
By the way, I love the church scene. Like, you go in, and this is, middle America, nice Protestant church. You got the preacher up there speaking. Jesus said nothing to condemn capital punishment as he hung on the cross, did he? Capital punishment is already the law in the state of Maryland. What are we waiting for, fellow Christians?
Like, the pastor's really trying to get the crowd to turn on Kathleen Turner because, elephant in the room and all that. But, like, the entire time he's making these points, Kathleen's just like, yeah, you're right. That is the law. He's good.
Yes, it's not me.
Cough.
There's someone else out there.
But the way she gets out of here, she snot rockets like a goober onto this baby's face, and everybody screams. And she and Matthew Lillard and his little girlfriend or whatever get in the escape car. They take the back exit and get out of there during all the commotion. So that's why I think the girl is down. Like, she is down to party with the serial killer.
She's in it for the fame. All right, she's in it for the fame and the lust. It's a cheap thrill ride. There's no proof yet. They get to the movie store. They make a few comments. This lady doesn't want to Be Kind Rewind, and she pays for it. She fucking pays for it. And then whenever she fucking gets murdered with the fucking leg of lamb, the girl sees it go down, and she's like, OMG, this is real. I don't think I can do this. And Matthew Lillard's like, bitch, hand me my ghost face mask.
Isn't that super weird in the moment too? Because everybody's on board with murder, and she decides oh, that was weird. I kind of don't like that. I feel like there could have been a point where Matthew Lillard's like, that's a shame, honey. I'm gonna have to fold you in half and stuff you in my glove compartment now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We get a. I'm gonna be honest, a shitty little car chase scene where she's like, safety belts, and then they show up at this goddamn punk rock show because she's chasing jerk off Jerry. And
yeah, well, yeah,
boy, oh
we
boy.
left that part out. Jerk off Jerry or whatever his name is was like hiding on the roof or something of the other, because he was following her too. He was like,
Yeah.
I want to prove that this lady did it. So did she do it? Oh yeah, she did it. She saw me watching her. I gotta go.
Yeah, it was pretty clunky. If I had like a hard critique in this movie, like the second act really droops, one with that car chase that lasts so fucking long. And they're going like a whole 20 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's the suburbs, and I don't think they got a license to like film or anything. It was just like, all right, we got to go, but we can't let the actual cops pull us over because they don't know we're here.
Yes.
Keep it under 30, guys.
Yes.
Fair enough, yeah. They're probably in like somewhere in Massachusetts or some nonsense like that, where they allow murderers to live. Oh man, yeah, you're right. Baltimore
It's
sucks.
Haddonfield. 40 more years.
Oh, our evil dies tonight.
God damn it.
Well, speaking of dying tonight, they do rush to this punk rock show for whatever reason. I guess they saw Ace Ventura and thought that Cannibal Corpse scene was a total goof.
Hell yeah. Well, no, I think the boy is just like trying to get out of there, trying to like dip in and hide, just somewhere to get away from her, but she sees him.
I was actually really excited for this because once they get inside, it's the Shit List band from Natural Born Killers, but they're rocking out on a Sunday at like 3 p.m.
No kidding. Yeah, this is middle of the afternoon. This is a matinee.
Matinee punk show. You know what? My gut tells me that they just never stopped playing. They went on last night and they're just still there.
That's the real punk rock thing to do.
Yeah. But I do like how the movie goes out of its way to be like, oh, they're lady punk rockers. And I don't know what the fuck the band's name was, but they're totally Spinal Wap.
Okay. All right. That got me. This is actually the band L7, Riot Girl punk rock band L7, Pretend That We're Dead. This is a real band.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because everybody who gets killed is just actually dead.
Oh, that's true. But they're actors. They're pretending. Everyone's pretending that they're dead here.
Well, you know, like at the end of the day, this all looked like a pretty great punk fest.
What I've got here today is from Long Beach Beer Lab. This is Vandals, their punk rock fest beer. This is a little bready, a little yeasty, a little bit hoppy, very dry, not floral, nothing like that. This is a very tame, reserved beer. This is good for a fest beer, honestly. Super drinkable, but you're not going to think a whole lot about it. Yeah, give it a shot. It's fine.
Okay. You don't want to think a lot about it. Just like the end of this little murder here. There's like 30 people watching as Serial Mom cuts down the lights, drops them on fucking Andy Barkley. Chucky can't even kill him. Abdou Dumbella, you know, he can't get none of that because she fucking burns him up with hairspray and a lighter.
Hairspray. Yeah, that's another reference.
Oh.
It's a punk show.
John Waters, that is.
You think he caught on fire so easily because he was made of polyester?
I didn't see anyone eat a turd.
I mean, that's probably just behind the scenes or something.
Extended cut.
Well, to extend his female trouble, he gets a bottle of vodka poured on him.
Jeez.
I mean, it's actually fairly brutal. Like, he just burns this guy to a crisp, and she's like, well, who wants drinks? You know, like, she didn't, like, stink up the place with this dude.
Well, she's already stinking it up with her camel lips.
Real big fish.
Anyway, so
shit.
mom gets arrested at this show, and we skip ahead 5 months to the trial, which is like this is the final portion of the movie, and it is so sweet.
Not only that, but it's an extreme tonal shift. Like the first two parts of the movie, it's like a dark comedy thriller. The last third of this movie is just Chicago.
Dude, 100%. I have in my notes. Not guilty. They had it coming with music notes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's another almost perfect bookend to this movie because, like, all these leads get tied up. Everything that was in the movie is not only referenced, but is used in this court case as evidence for her case. Like, she went to firing her lawyer, who was absolutely terrible. Like, straight up is like, yeah, she's insane, fellas. I'm not even going to try. He gets 86, and she basically just pulls this community apart piece by piece, and the jury's just like, huh, she's kind of upstanding.
She's
cool.
so charismatic in this last portion too. She is like dominating.
She kills it from the second she sits down and flashes her vag till she brings up the fact that you shouldn't judge someone by the books they read, then telling the chief of police himself that she found Chicks with Dicks, a very graphic magazine, in his trash.
That was the most John Waters joke in this whole movie. Just like, Chicks with Dicks, you got me. Like, he just like took a knife and pinned it to the table. I'm like, you know what? That's funny. You got me.
Yeah, we got her old neighbor, Dottie Hinkle or whatever, testifying on the stand against her. And she gets at her. She's like, so you never drink? No. But didn't you have a beer that one day? So you're a liar. And then that just turns old Dottie into a psychopath.
Oh, you cocksucker, you lousy pig fucker, I'll get...
She should watch her mouth in front of Suzanne Summers, okay?
Yeah, we got Suzanne Summers in here.
We'll totally get into that, but I have to point out that pig fucker has absolutely made it into my daily vernacular.
Well, I'm glad.
It just cuts at you like motherfucker, just like a laser.
Not even because of that episode of Black Mirror, but because of this. Now it's become a part of your vernacular.
Well, I haven't seen Black Mirror, so that's all I got for all the pig fuckers out there.
Well, you should watch the first episode at least. That's the pig fucking episode. But yeah, meanwhile, old Chip and Ricki Lake are out front selling t-shirts, Serial Mom t-shirts, like it's a fucking Rolling Stones concert.
I brought up that was a tonal shift. Like, not only is what's happening inside the court basically Chicago, but what's happening outside the court is just basically natural-born killers. They're selling merch of their mom, who's clearly a murderer. They rang up Suzanne Summers. They sold her television and movie rights to her so they can just bang out some B movie and make a quick buck. That was so good. Oh,
Chip's brother comes up to him and is like, "You motherfucker, your mom killed my brother." And he's like, "Hey, have you signed off yet on the movie, on the TV series or whatever? We got Suzanne Summers to play my mom. Do you know who's going to play my brother? You think we can get Jason Priestley?"
And that look of maybe sold it. The whole thing. That little microcosm in this movie is wonderful. Because, like, Matthew Lillard takes a punk to the face. He gets true haymaker. And he's like, whoa, dude, calm down. Let's make some money.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be a millionaire because of this. You, if you're lucky, you could be a thousandaire.
I almost feel like he had the tone of, like, listen, they don't have to pay your brother now. You know?
That's extra for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get all these cute, brilliant tie-ups, and they wrap this movie up perfectly. You get not guilty. She has proven herself beyond a shadow of a doubt, somehow, by taking everything we've seen from the beginning of the movie, the middle of the movie, to the end of the movie, and spun it beautifully to make herself seem like the best person in the world. Everyone says, high five, you're the lady. She's like, yes, I am, but that bitch right there, juror number 7, that fucking bitch. She's wearing white shoes after Labor Day. Fashion has changed. Fashion hasn't changed. And neither has Serial Mom, okay? She kills this bitch. And Suzanne Summers has the fucking gall, the audacity even, to try to shove Serial Mom around to get her in a picture properly. And the way that it freeze frames the second after she goes, Suzanne Summers, this is my bad side. Beautiful.
It's a really cool moment because this entire time, through the whole movie, John Waters is poking fun at the situation. We're all having a good time. Ha ha ha, she's a psychopath. But in that just, needlepoint moment, you're like, once more, oh fuck, she's crazy. Like the movie, like no matter how much time the movie spent trying to convince you, like, oh, this might have like a hunky-dory ending. No, the bitch is crazy.
She could turn around to Suzanne Summers and say, Suzanne, this is about me and my 2 kids, and honey, 3's company, but 4's a crowd.
Oh shit, that's great. In fact, having an entire ending where she like kills Suzanne Summers probably would have been fucking great.
I agree.
John Waters, hit us with that extended cut.
He'll just probably send you a copy of Chicks with Dicks.
Yes, signed.
I mean, it's probably worth something. I won't read it.
Am I the horny one, guys? John Waters, send me Chicks with Dicks.
It's not the content. It's about the articles, okay?
I'm just trying to make a buck, just like them, Oh.
Hey, listen, if it puts food on the table, hell with it. Let's get some
$20
sponsors
is
in
$20.
Yeah.
So I love this movie. I've watched it with my wife a bunch of times. It's one of her favorites. Every time I watch it, I have a big smile from beginning to end. I never really put the Scream thing together until this one, just because I had watched Scream recently. And I got nothing negative on this. It drags, with the car chase bit, but I mean, that's so forgivable. So forgivable for what we're given. Rest in peace, Suzanne Summers. My wife loved watching you on QVC, like, for hours. So, rip.
No, I'm on the same page. This was wonderful, actually. I'm super surprised this doesn't have more precedence. Like, this totally would deserve like a spot on anybody's like list of comfort movies or something like that. This is a hidden gem. This is the first time I got to see this. I had never even heard of this movie before you brought it up, Chandler. This was such a treat. It was just so well acted alone. Like, the rest of the movie can be damned, but like fucking Kathleen Turner just like oozes talent, and I have to recommend this movie. It's probably one of the best dark comedies I've seen in a long time.
Agreement across the board. This was my first time seeing it. I'd heard a lot about it. I know it's got some fans. I figured I'd throw it up so that we could give it a watch together. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think the dialogue is incredible. It's witty. It's kind of disgusting in times, which that's exactly what I'm down for. Kathleen Turner is amazing. I'm going to have to watch some more John Waters movies because I have not given this guy his fair shake from here on out.
Well, there you have it. That was Serial Mom. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in that comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Be sure to bash that little bell icon down there too, so you don't miss what we have brewing up next.
Get out there and follow us on them social medias. There's all sorts of platforms. Check them out. We're on them. You can find us anywhere podcasts are available. Give us a shot. We're kind of funny. We're like John Waters. We're a little gross, but at the end, we're kind of wholesome. If you don't give us a chance, we're going to have to give you a roast beating.
Oh, shit. Ooh. Be sure to recycle.